Today on Rock the Park, we're seeking out the mysterious side of paradise.
I mean, this is absolutely crazy.
Surrounded by underwater giants.
Wow, man, holy cow! Are you kidding me?
And a sci-fi migration.
Some of these creatures look like jellyfish. Other creatures look like long, translucent worms, or almost the tentacle from an octopus.
Everywhere we turn, we witness something we've never seen before.
Fish climbing up rock to spawn.
We're on the island of Hawaii.
I'm gonna need hours, days, weeks, and months to process all of that.
And it all starts right now. I'm Jack Stewart.
This is the real deal.
And I'm Colton Smith.
These are mountains!
We've been buddies for years, always in search of the next adventure.
Dude, what was that? We share a passion for our national parks and other wild places around the world.
Oh my God.
Heading off the beaten path, pushing our limits, and experiencing nature's best-kept secrets.
Here we go!
It's how we rock the park.
Born from volcanic fire and water, few places on Earth get us as excited as the Hawaiian Islands. And one island in particular sets the bar for rugged beauty and power.
Hey everybody, we are on the island of Hawaii, about to tackle an adventure unlike any that we have ever gone on before.
This is the largest of the Hawaiian Islands, and it seems like everything here is just bigger. Whether you're staring up at the massive volcanoes or looking out into the abyss of the Pacific Ocean.
The island of Hawaii sits at the eastern end of the Hawaiian chain. It's the youngest, the largest, and the most volcanically active of all the islands. While the spewing lava commands the most attention, we're gonna be spending most of our time in the water. We are going on 2 night dives. Now, we've only gone night diving once before, and these 2 are really gonna push us out of our comfort zones.
These dives would be crazy enough during the day. You add the pitch black on top of that, it's gonna be absolutely wild and a little nerve-wracking, I will say.
Our plan is to dive with giant manta rays. We're talking creatures that can get up to 3,000 pounds.
And then we're going out into the abyss, hovering over thousands and thousands of feet of nothing.
Before we dive in, we're checking out what is easily the most famous and intriguing waterfall on the island.
The trail to Akaka Falls is barely half a mile long, but it's insanely beautiful and one of the most popular walks on the Big Island. What's awesome about this trail is it works its way through the rainforest, and there are tons of wild orchids and ferns and a lot of other amazing plants that you get to see right here on your way to the waterfall. The northeastern coast of the island is one of the wettest places on the planet, getting as much as 130 inches of rain each year.
This is an incredibly cool and diverse area of this island. Right now, we're basically right between the Pacific Ocean and the summit of Mauna Kea, way up there in the clouds. What's amazing about Mauna Kea is if you were to measure it from its base in the ocean to the summit, it would be the tallest mountain on Earth, taller than Mount Everest.
The massive Mauna Kea is a dormant volcano and one of 5 that form the island of Hawaii.
Volcanic eruptions have been shaping this island for millions of years, but it's been Kilauea that has really shocked this place in recent history.
4 years ago, Jack and I explored the summit of Kilauea to see the remnants of what was then its last big eruption.
This is where the eruption began on the early morning in May 1969.
Whoa.
Big crack opened up in the ground.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, holy cow.
That's insane. I love how it just looks like this crack goes down to the core of the earth.
Well, it does go down several miles. Now check this out. See that level down there below us?
Yeah.
That's the original ground level when the eruption began.
Wow.
That's where the crack opened up. And as the lava came out, it was shooting up here hundreds of feet high. And as it flowed out, it built up all this land we're standing on now. So this is fresh stuff.
Wow.
Kilauea has been erupting almost constantly since 1983. But on that day when we approached the summit, it was merely putting on a light show.
Wow. That is insane. It's just glowing against that steam that's coming off of it. That's amazing.
This peaceful respite ended last spring when Kilauea blew again, spewing lava near residential areas.
In 2018, Kilauea started erupting and showing its full force, virtually destroying everything in its path, and it didn't let up for months.
Imagine endless lava flows with temperatures hitting over 2,000 degrees. They're moving at 20 to 30 miles an hour and rolling over entire communities.
Hundreds of homes were destroyed, and Kilauea just basically plowed through.
When lava flows into the ocean, it hardens and creates new land. And that eruption has already added 600 acres to this island. Today, our hike is an hour from Kilauea's destruction, but this landscape was also formed by an eruption 250,000 years ago on the upper slopes of Mauna Kea volcano. When the volcano erupted and scattered all this ash and basalt, the rainwater would funnel down the mountain and it would carve out these deep gulches in the basalt. But then it would get to places like this where the basalt was really dense and it couldn't erode it as quickly. Thus, it drops straight down and creates an amazing waterfall like this. That's why Akaka Falls is considered a plunging waterfall. Instead of descending down a series of rocky ledges, it drops straight down into a pool of water. This is just absolutely gorgeous. It's what I picture when I think of waterfalls in Hawaii.
This is easily one of the tallest waterfalls that we've ever seen. Akaka Falls is 422 feet high.
That's double the height of Niagara Falls.
That's incredible right there.
Something that is really unique to this waterfall is that there are fish that will actually climb up the rocks to spawn.
Yeah, these guys are called goby fish, and they make the most fascinating journey that I quite frankly have ever heard of.
Less than 3 inches long, the gobies swim more than 2 miles from the Pacific Ocean and then scale Akaka Falls.
They climb up over 400 feet. Fish climbing up rock to spawn.
The gobies have suckers under their mouths and bellies, which help them to climb.
Comparatively speaking, if we were to try something like that, we would have to climb Mount Everest 3 times. That's how high these guys are climbing compared to their size.
That is dedication.
It's really hot out, and obviously we can't swim down there.
No, we cannot.
I gotta say, I'm looking forward to our dive tonight.
I am too. I got those nerves though.
That's why we're here, though.
Yeah, I know. Just a little scared.
What could possibly go wrong? It's pitch dark and we're surrounded by 1,000-pound manta rays.
It's gonna be sick. We're on the island of Hawaii, where volcanoes continue to carve out a paradise of rainforests and waterfalls more than 40 stories high. This island has more miles of coastline than any of the other islands, and tonight, we're on the west side, on the Kona coast, where the waters are shielded by Mauna Loa, making it the perfect place to dive day or night.
Welcome to the Honuiki. You guys ready to do some diving?
Dude, I'm so excited. I'm nervous and excited.
For good reason.
I'm basically right down the middle right now. I'm super stoked. I know this is gonna be so unique, but I definitely have some of those pre-dive jitters, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is a little different, that's for sure.
We've done a night dive once before, but nothing like this. Tonight, our first dive puts us up close and personal with an ocean giant, manta rays. They're enormous, with devil horns and fins like wings.
Okay, so manta ray dive.
Yeah,
what do we gotta look
Let's
out
talk
for
about it.
Can't they get to be 3,000 plus pounds?
Absolutely massive, yeah. So our biggest one, Big Bertha, she's 16 feet from wingtip to wingtip. So to give you a reference, this boat is about 14 feet across. So she's actually bigger than the boat is wide, yeah. But these guys are totally harmless. They have no teeth, no stingers. They're just really, really big. So if you have any apprehension when you see them tonight, just keep remembering no teeth, no stingers, just big. And the reason they're coming out tonight, because they're coming out for the plankton. So we bring the lights, plankton comes to us, and then the mantas come in for the plankton.
Wow.
And our #1 rule out here tonight, you guys, is no touching the manta rays. Now with that said, the manta rays don't hear this briefing, they might touch you. Okay. That does happen from time to time.
We'll be diving to a depth of about 40 feet tonight, but that's the easy part.
I have so many emotions going through my head right now. I'm excited, but it is dark out. If everything goes according to plan, we're gonna have 1,000-pound animals flying all around us, on top of us. They're gonna be everywhere.
I'm not the most comfortable with critters just being all up in my business, so I think this is gonna be interesting.
But I do pride myself on being able to, find my peace and just kind of take in an experience, so. We're not even off the boat before our first encounter.
What? Oh, wow.
So already we've got a manta ray right below the boat, basically, and he is enormous. Oh my gosh. Holy cow.
Wow.
Oh, he's right there. That's insane. About 250 manta rays live off the Kona coast.
You can feel the anticipation. At any minute, there's a chance that a 3,000-pound manta ray is gonna come flying over our heads.
All of a sudden, Josh points out an eel, which is about 5 feet away from us.
This is a moray eel. With more than 40 species, these guys come from a pretty big family. Diverse too, considering they can be as small as 2 feet and as big as 6 feet. They're nocturnal creatures and feed on reef fish, and they've been known to bite humans when provoked.
Eels are incredibly cool, but they don't exactly have those same peaceful characteristics that the manta rays have.
Josh calls this spot the campfire because we're sitting in a circle with our flashlights creating a glow in the darkness.
We're sitting there waiting and waiting, and then out of nowhere, we see our first manta ray just gliding right over the light.
I'm just mesmerized by this guy, how he's swimming around, how he's eating.
It's absolutely spectacular. He's just floating effortlessly through the water, just so graceful. And all of that fear of being next to this 1,000+ pound animal just disappears.
And out of nowhere, a second manta ray enters the campfire area, and they're both just gliding around peacefully.
These manta rays are swimming so close to me right now. Over my head, coming from behind me, I seem to be completely surrounded by them, and yet they're acting as if they don't even see me.
We're so focused on the manta rays, we don't notice at first that another creature has joined the party, a sea turtle.
Hawaii is home to 5 species of sea turtles, but the most commonly seen are green sea turtles. Unlike other sea turtles, the green are herbivores. They eat marine plants like seaweed, seagrass, and algae.
This is one of those pinch me moments. We went from sitting and waiting for anything to happen to all of a sudden having one of the most amazing scenes unfold right before our eyes.
Wow. Wow, man. Holy cow. Are you kidding me? That's it. Woo! Oh, my. I don't even know what to say. I'm going to need hours, days, weeks, and months to process all of that.
Man, that was incredible. And what was so weird to me was how you'd just be sitting there, there'd be nothing, and then all of a sudden you just see this giant creature just like creep into your sphere. Yeah.
You are just a spectator. I mean, you're sitting on the sidelines and you're watching some of the most beautiful sequences of nature just unfold right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, almost like a ballet.
Yeah.
Like,
It is.
Like turtles coming in, and then the manta, and then that big school of fish.
I gotta say, I'm still a little nervous for this next dive, do not get me wrong. But man, that was one incredible warm-up, and I'm a little more eager. Okay.
Good stuff.
Sweet,
Yeah,
man.
thanks, man. That was great.
So now after diving with manta rays, we're heading 3 miles offshore to a blackwater abyss that's 7,000 feet deep.
All systems go. We're about to witness the largest and craziest migration on the planet.
We've been diving with manta rays off the west coast of the island of Hawaii. And now we're moving on to a 7,000-foot drop where we're about to witness the largest migration on Earth. I think the allure and the uniqueness of this dive is knowing that you don't know what you're going to see. And that's I'm certainly a little nervous over that. Are you kidding me?
I'm looking forward to just getting down there, checking out all of the little organisms and things that are gonna be floating by. Every night, millions of bioluminescent creatures who've never seen the light of day migrate towards the ocean's surface to feed.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Sounds good.
We plan to dive to about 40 feet, and because it's easy to get disoriented in the dark, we're tethered to the boat. All we have are our flashlights to guide us.
At first, it's incredibly eerie, looking down and knowing that my light extends 25 feet, and the bottom of the ocean floor is 7,000 feet down below that. But at the same time, it's calming, it's peaceful, and all that eeriness, it's just part of the adventure. This is incredibly, incredibly cool.
We're excited to see the glowing creatures we've heard about, but I can't help but dwell on what else is out here.
As I descend, I'm definitely overcome with some anxiety. We've been told that there are tons of different types of sharks that are definitely in the area.
And that includes tiger sharks. These large sharks are nocturnal and will feed on fish, squid, turtles, and even smaller sharks. They're second only to the great white shark in fatal attacks on humans.
I start to get used to the tether system. It really allows you to swim around in a very wide area, but at the same time, it's keeping you close to the boat. The darkness that surrounds us is definitely daunting, but it also is intriguing. A blackwater dive like this is almost as close to feeling like you're in outer space as humanly possible on Earth. You are weightless, floating through this endless abyss. All around me are these crazy creatures that have these amazing colors and this complexity that I've never seen before. Some of these creatures look like jellyfish. Other creatures look like long, translucent worms, or almost the tentacle from an octopus.
Most of the animals we're seeing are coming from a depth of 650 to 3,200 feet below the surface.
Some are flashing bright white lights. Others have streaks of green going up and down the outside of their bodies.
Making their way to the surface is slow going. Most scientists believe these creatures migrate at night to feed on the plentiful food near the surface, without being seen by predators like they would during the day.
At this point, I'm embracing the unknown. That fear has faded away, and it's an absolute joy.
And just when we think we've seen it all, we witness something that rivals anything Hollywood could dream up. We're 3 miles off the coast of Kona, Hawaii, hovering over a 7,000-foot abyss during the largest migration on Earth. It happens every night, and the creatures are out of this world, especially this one.
One of these creatures looks like an elaborate spider web, and I'm staring at this thing, and as it gets closer to me, it all of a sudden just shrinks back into itself and turns into what looks like a snake and just slithers away.
Seriously, I have no clue how it does that or why, but it's one of the coolest transformations I've ever seen.
Right now, I feel so absolutely out of this world, but at the same time, I almost feel so much closer to it. I feel intertwined with this ocean. Just like these organisms, here I am, floating in the blackness.
We could have hung out here all night, but after an hour, it's time to head back to the surface.
That was probably the most wonderful, awe-inspiring thing I have ever experienced.
I did not feel like I was on this earth. I mean, it was that foreign, it was that extraterrestrial in nature that I felt like I was just gliding through a sci-fi movie.
And what was amazing is seeing some of these creatures that were so big, and then the closer you would get, they would notice you, and then they would go back together and form this like really solid entity.
I've never been more intrigued, I've never been more fascinated, I've never wanted to know more about our oceans.
Totally, man. Hawaii is a place that you just gotta come visit. There's so much that you can discover here, from all the different hikes, from learning how volcanoes and everything have built these islands into what they are today, to the water, to getting out. There are so many different things that you can do here, and you are going to learn something new, and you're gonna be dazzled every time you do it.
You said it.
And remember, if we can do it, so can you.
So the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.